guys, I'm back. All right, I want to start with a singing bowl today. Everybody just relax. Going with the flow of this crazy world. Trusting it's all going somewhere beautiful for us. Something beautiful is blossoming up ahead. Hama na teinsa sa ilakiin. Pumpuma on. Chinchihela ansese. Ala ena e. Pupuma ona ai. Chinchin sanse la ela. Titi la naike. Sanse ela. Chinchi ela ake e. Huma ana ake ela Hapena hai ela an. Oh, that feels so good. Okay. All right. I think we're ready. So I'm going to pull a Galactic Heritage card because why the heck not? May as well be learning and growing while we're going through this transition in our world. So God, Spirit, the one within, the all within. Where are we at the time of this video? Where is the collective at energetically? What's going on? Maybe even that we don't even know about what's hidden from us, or what do we realize? Because right now we're so segregated, we're so isolated in so many ways. So it's like, what's really going on? Give us a big picture, God. We know we're being pioneers of the new earth. Okay, alchemy, Esasani, parallel. How interesting. What is this going to tell us? Okay, and it's pretty. It's pink. Okay. Of course, I love pink. You guys know that, obviously. Okay. 102. Esasani, reality is created through our conscious and unconscious thoughts, emotions, and intents. When they are aligned, we become the reality that we prefer, as long as we are following our excitement, which represents the natural flow of the universe. Amen. That's when you know the truth, is if you're excited. When you're in fear, you are not aligned with the universe's will. This essential Asasani teaching is a process of alchemy, but it means that we must look at our self-sabotaging behaviors and confront our shadows, knowing ourselves fully. Only then can we come into full alignment with our true selves. It's so true. We have to be willing to look at those things that we don't like out in the world, which is what we don't like in ourselves as well, because it's all a mirror. This card means that it's time for you to take this step, clean up unfinished business, be free, and embrace synchronicity. So they just said, follow those breadcrumb trails to your destiny. And if you don't, there could be a tower. If they don't, okay, you're very close to achieving your goal. So, wow. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Luck is on your side. So, wow, you are good enough. You know, it always comes back to this when we make these incredible changes, these major shifts. It's like, you know, yeah, a lot of people are gonna feel it's such a crazy time. Such contradictory feelings are going on at the same time. All this guilt and shame, and we've lost people and grieved, and then there's this excitement that's kind of growing up as these like little grass, you know, little blades of grass. These new spring blades of grass are popping up that give us hope and inspiration and excitement and get us feeling creative. And it's like, whoa, what's happening? They just showed me like a stump that decays and gives birth to new growth. So that's kind of what's happening right now. So this is just a reminder that we have to be willing to look at our shadow side. We have to be willing to look out there and see what's being projected in here, in everything that we see, everything that we hear. How am I doing that? How am I doing that? How am I deceiving myself? How am I tricking myself? How am I manipulating myself or even others? You know, getting real with yourself. Okay, so it's time to get real. You're ready to get real? Okay, so we're going to take a look today at some energy type stuff. And I'm going to use a quote from Nikola Tesla, the king of energy. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that's where our power lies. And that is, yeah, they just said the kingdom of God within you. It's the ultimate empowerment is when you are so full of chi or life force energy that you're completely, totally connected to God, and you have all the answers are just given to you. Your instinct knows certain things that you wouldn't logically know that, it's like, how did I possibly know that? And it's also our best protection. Okay, so here are some questions today. Let me just take a drink. Apparently, we need to have some conversations going. If there's anyone that you haven't talked to yet or in a while about something important, I would say that this is a sign that you need to do something, take action. Oh no, I just looked at a Kuan Yin card. The strength of you. Are you doubting your ability to heal or recover? There's nothing that has fundamentally damaged your spirit, your will, or your heart. No matter how broken these parts of you may feel at times, they have only ever been broken to heal stronger. They have not been broken beyond repair and never will be. Wow. Wow. Does that not sum it up as well? So, okay, they're bringing me over here. Everyone deserves a second chance. And you do deserve happiness, even though so-and-so has died. Maybe your relative or your friend, or just, masses of people from getting duped. Whatever this is you might be dealing with, it's time to make a difference. And making a difference and being an inspiration to others requires you to love yourself. You have to be willing to love yourself, even though I love you, even though you've done things that, are very upsetting to whoever. I love you even when you didn't take responsibility. I love you even when you let people down. I love you even when you, sabotage yourself. I love you even when you, we have to, when we love ourselves, it helps us to neutralize and it helps us love other people as well. It neutralizes the judgment out there. In fact, I think that was one of the questions that are on here. Spirit has its way of telling you what order it wants things in. Yeah, the question is, how will humanity stop the current judgment toward each other? Oh my gosh, and what is behind such harsh judgment from humanity? So I kind of came up with this, and it just made perfect sense. And this is only because I've been in the 5D realm. And I've seen certain things that are kind of hard to describe unless you've kind of witnessed it or seen it yourself or experienced it yourself. But I was not trying to. I was in that state, and I remember being in. I was a director, community relations director for retirement living. And I was having a meeting with my manager. Yes, I was enlightened doing a corporate job. Yes, I was. It is possible. And it's a very busy, hectic job. You guys who've been in the industry know. There's a lot of pressure. So I was sitting in a chair waiting for the meeting to start. And I remember just getting very, very present in the moment and just really feeling the chi in the air and just really kind of, okay. It's like you start to reside there, you become one with everything. And so I was just, resonating in that vibration and just kind of being the observer of Amy sitting in the chair waiting for this meeting. And there was like a thought form that started to come in. This is the only way I could describe it. It looked like not even like a bubble, but like a shadow, not even a shadow. It would be like a fuzzy shadow, like a small fuzzy shadow started to kind of come up like this to where I could barely see it in my peripheral. And I felt, so hard to describe, you guys, but I felt the feeling of it, that it was going to offer me fear, that it was going to, that it represented, if you look over here, I'm going to give you something to be afraid of. And the way that we are conditioned in the world that we live in right now is that we want to see the things that are fearful. We want to see those things that what there's something, there could be a threat to me somehow. I want to know what this threat is so that I can look at it and take care of it and head it off. And our logic jumps in there and says, if I work hard enough and have enough money, that won't happen. Or if I get a house up on stilts, or if I get, it's like you think of all the natural disasters and I could head that off and do the da. And it's like, so there's this thought that came, and now this happens all the time to all of us, and we're just not aware. It was only because I was in that state that I was able to observe it like this. So it came over here and it was like, and I felt the feeling of I was allowed to feel the vibration of the feeling that it would give me without knowing the subject matter. I just knew it represented fear, that it wanted to offer up fear. And if I wanted to, I could then go look at it. It's almost as if, okay, say you're walking by a room and you hear people talking, and they're talking at a low tone like this. And they're like, what do you think about this, that, and the other thing? They're just whispering kind of in a quiet tone. This is exactly that moment of you are walking by the door at that moment and you hear this going on. Do you turn your head and look at it and then go over to the door and listen because you're afraid of what might be being said, maybe even about you? And you're thinking, if I can catch that, then I can head it off. I can protect myself. I can, take the power into my hands. I can control the situation. Or do you hear the ba sound on the other side of the door, and just decide to stay present and in a space of love and just walk on by and just trust? That's a hard one in our society. That's a really hard one. So that's exactly what it was like. Okay, so this thing came through and it tempted me with fear, and I decided to clear my space. I was like, no, thank you. And I didn't even have to like push it away or anything. I just became more intensely focused on the feeling of love and resonance in the rest of the room, that I had filled up with this presence energy. So I just like really concentrated on the presence. It feels so good to be here. It feels so good to be in my energy field. It's like this, and I just got really in it. And I felt it in my body, all through my core. Every part of my body felt this incredible, intense vibration that consumed everything in that room. I stayed totally focused, and the thing just faded away, just went away. So what I figured out is that those things that float in, I believe that they're negative AI. I believe that they are the malevolent, the evil forces that be, and you wouldn't believe what they're capable of or what they can do. But I think our ego is negative AI. So I'm just saying that's how it works. And that's where I believe judgment comes from, is trying to split humanity so that so we will take sides, and we won't remember who we are, that incredible vibration, the animation of who we are, that wonderful energy. Feel it right now in your cells, in your body, that aliveness in your cells. That's you. That's who you really are. And you can only notice it if you're in the present moment. And everything about our society talks about the past and the future, right? So they wanted to rob us of that, because when we are totally present in the moment, we are all powerful, very, very powerful. We can manifest anything we want. We are completely empowered. We are completely sovereign beings. So that was part of their plan, is to get us to judge each other and to fight and to take turns. Somebody said something, said that their relative saw tarot cards on somebody's channel. They left their computer open and they were like, oh, that's the devil, that's evil. And I thought, wow, if they were only in their heart space, if they were truly connected to God, that God source energy, they would see. It was me, actually, and there were a couple other tarot readers that they had caught, her watching or whatnot. But if they could just actually, if they were really connected, like they think they are, like they act like they are, they would have felt the feeling and been drawn into it. They would have been like, oh my gosh, that feels so loving. I want to see what this is about. But we put up these judgments. And of course, that's exactly what the Luciferians have wanted everyone to do, to segregate, to say, because of the person's color, because of the person's belief, whatever. So that's what we're coming back to now, guys. We're coming back to like just feeling everything telepathically and instinctively, and coming back to the moment, getting back in our power, and also hearing about the news. And when I say hearing about the news, I'm talking about the back channels, guys, BitChute and all the stuff you're listening to now, the stuff you want to know about, because what's going to happen with it, what's really going on behind the scenes. That's news too. That's the real news, not talking about the phony baloney on television. So, it's time to get back to some truths and not be distracted, not allow ourselves to go out of alignment because we're too much in our head. Remember to keep coming back inside, keep coming back present. That's where you're powerful. That's where you can make the biggest difference and be in your power. Okay. So, all right. Are all the coal, power, or nuclear plants getting shut down because we are getting free Tesla energy already before even feeling into it? I feel some energy out here, which is a yes. So there is a yes. Let's see. Are all the coal and power nuclear plants getting shut down? Okay, so they're wanting you guys to know about a number of different things that are going on behind the scenes right now. Actually, there's not just that. There's much, much more. The IRS has now become the Treasury, and I'm getting reports that people are actually not only getting their debt forgiven, and their debt is just vanishing, their whole mortgage gone, school loans gone, but people are actually getting paid back from the IRS for what they've stolen all these years. So we should never have had to pay taxes all this time. And if you guys want to learn more about that, there's a great sovereignty book that I recommend in the Great Awakening video number 9. At the very beginning, I show you the picture of the book. Get that book. Everybody needs to read that book. Really, really important that we know our actual history here in America anyway. Or if you're interested in America, in American history, definitely got to look at that book. Okay, so the IRS is now the Treasury, and they're giving back to people. So, and I'm hearing these reports, and I love getting these reports from you guys. It's great, and we're laughing, and it's just a beautiful thing. I just saw the star card again. Boy, that star card was in our last reading, like all over the place. And I would suggest going to look at my Great Awakening videos before and take a look at the timestamps down below. Wow. Okay. What does this mean? Interest. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, it's a yes. Things are healing now. Things we're reassessing relationships. We're reassessing. This is a card about really stepping back and taking a good look at what you treasure about your relationships and things like that. So I feel like they're trying to also reestablish. They're helping humanity behind the scenes. They're trying to, in this movie they're playing out, they're helping humanity to realize what's really important to us, stripping certain things away and revamping it all in a way that's like emotionally intelligent and mature to replace that old ugly energy. Whoever, like the alliances, they have a lot of passion behind what they're doing, and they're planning and plotting when the miracle happens, or when maybe even several miracles. Maybe they're going to, they're going to create new jobs. They're going to create new, wonderful, incredible, positive, healing, maybe even some intuitive jobs, I feel. Yeah, awakening and having to do with the military. Like they're just trying to wake people up and trying to help people get to where they're having good conversations and fighting back. Um, I was in the store the other day, and I don't remember what comment was made that kind of led into this, but I looked at him and I said, "Boy, you know what's going on in our world, right?" And I think he said something like, "Yeah, our gas prices are getting higher, and this is happening, and that's happening," and I just smiled, and I was like, that's like a little bit of what's going on. I said, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes you may not be realizing, or you may not know about. Can I tell you about it? And he was like, sure, I'm all ears. And I said, if I start to offend you, or if I start to say something, whatever, then you can stop me. But I appreciate you listening right now. You can listen as long as you want to, and I'll stop whenever. But like, if you'll let me just go ahead and just tell you a bunch of stuff, I would love it. So he was like, sure, go ahead, let me have it. And so he was wide open. And when I told him everything, and I went fairly deep, I went fairly deep. And I said, our government's completely corrupt. They're trying to put us in servitude, or they were trying to put us in servitude. They were trying to create a new world order that's been thwarted. We have good guys behind the scenes called the Alliance that are really trying to help turn a new leaf for us. And I mean, and I talked about sex trafficking, and I mean, I just went on and on and on. And then what the guy knew about almost all of it, you guys. He said, I was wondering. I was already feeling skeptical about this, that, and the other thing, and I was already thinking. And he goes, but it's really scary. It's like pretty scary to think that these people that have been in charge of our safety, who've been looking out for us all this while, or so we thought, have been actually the enemy trying to take us down and trying to do all this really bad stuff, right? And pull the wool over our eyes the whole time. And and I thought, oh my gosh, this is why so many people have been in cognitive dissonance, is because they've been in denial, because they couldn't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. It's true, they can't. They haven't healed their wounds enough. Some people haven't healed their wounds enough. I've said that the people who are taking the V are people who are unhealed. And that's why Q said back when, focus on your healing, just heal, because it's so true, because then you'll be able to see the truth. You can only see the truth if you're willing to open your heart again, like if you're willing to love again, because you realize that we stumble and we fall, but we grow and we expand. What are the benefits and advantages to all the shit I went through? You got to figure that out. You got to hash it out on paper. You got to heal that stuff. Our egos want us to just like get over it moment to moment, like, oh, this scary thing happened, boo, and then we go, oh, now I feel okay though, because I went and watched the TV, or I had a sandwich, or I did, it's like, that's like going back into denial. You need to take that moment where you got scared, see what triggered you, and actually go work on it. Go do the work on it, guys. So anyway, they're trying to get us, they're causing even some mental conflict and some good hashing out conversations to be had, like I had with that guy, very receptive the entire time and thanked me when I walked away. And so really great guy, really great guy. But I think there's a lot of people out there, you guys, that are like him, that just kept their mouths shut because they're just like that. Just kind of terrifies me. I think I'd have nightmares if I were to actually really contemplate it. Anyway, so I said, though, the more of us that wake up and rise up against it, that's what they're looking for. They need us to show that we want and desire change. You know, that things are not to go on as they've been. Things have to change. And for us to be receptive of that, we have to see that there's a threat. We have to see what we truly want. Sovereignty. Do you want to be able to, own your home? Do you want to be able to grow your own garden? Do you want to be able to have a family, as many kids as you want? Do you want to be able to, real freedom, like success and victory, shouting things from the rooftops? You're so happy. So there are some apologies coming, and I feel like even people who've been fighting for this are going to get apologized too. Oh, this is interesting. It's like they're going to get some kind of, not like maybe a reward of some sort. Like this could be the humanitarians. Like, you had the faith and you fought for this. Not all humanitarians are fighting for it, but many of them do have hearts of gold, and they really do want to make a difference, and they've been pushing against it. So a lot of this is to apologize, and even like it's healing past lives. The past is maybe coming up around full circle for us to heal. So it's all about a new beginning and healing and having that victory and happiness and laying this burden down once and for all right now. But the key is that you have to go forward and speak your truth. You got to stand up for what's right and be in your power. Stand for abundance. We are plentiful. Don't fall for the illusion that there's lack. Gas prices are going up. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Be in your power. You are creating this. God, thank you so much that there's plenty. Like, they want to take us away from gasoline. I don't know what they're taking us to. Tesla energy driven cars. I don't know. Wide open mind. And we're going into a time of prosperity, you guys. So, yeah. So there's like a lot of changes going on behind the scenes for our betterment, for our good. Okay, so I actually want to. Okay. I'm looking at my world truth cards. Things are being worked out to your benefit behind the scenes. Have faith. This is getting resolved, because it is. Thank you. There's been so much trickery for those of you who've actually been brave and courageous enough to look behind the curtain at the real Oz. Thank you for those of you who've done that. It's hard. It's hard to look. But once you know all of that, it's hard to just relax and be like, okay, the good is coming in. We're turning a corner here. We're still a little bit like, just a little sensitive, a little sensitive. I don't think we're going to be able to completely relax for quite a while. So there has been some dream warfare involved. So make sure that you always go to bed happy. Read a relaxing book, laugh with your kids or whatever for a few minutes before bed, tickle each other, whatever you need, or watch funny things, watch funny videos, whatever you got to do, but make sure that you go to bed happy. Whatever you've been wishing, hoping, or praying for, it's on its way. Worrying will slow it down. So, the key to manifesting, if you watched my number 9, is to know that it's going to happen, and just don't even worry about it. Your prayers are being answered. Thank you. Okay. Is there a Tesla energy tower in Texas that can supply free energy to the world? Yeah, huge yes. Interesting. See, some people are going to have a hard time accepting that free energy, free anything, not having to pay for insurance, not having to pay for some people are going to be, they're going to push that away. Probably a lot of elderly people, they're going to have a hard time with, what do you mean free energy? Overcoming their ego. Yes, overcoming their ego. So, you might have some persnickety old men, like maybe your grandpa, like saying, no way, we're not going to, I don't know how they can argue with it because it's going to happen anyway. But, we may have to deal with some persnickety people. But that's okay. They'll eventually feel like successful and victorious. It's really there. It's a feeling of worth. It's like, we've been so beaten. That it's like that thing. What do they call that when you fall in love with your captor? That's exactly what's happened with our government. We've fallen in love with the government taking care of us. It's like, oh, do I really, can I really I just went five miles over the speed limit. I don't deserve to be let off. It's like we've been in such in fear without even knowing it. What do you feel when you see a cop car, guys? What do you feel? Fear. You're afraid. So it's like, most of you, unless you're married to a cop, of course. But we're going into, and that's going to change. I just heard that's very much going to change. We're going to start seeing police officers differently. But and the government is how's the government going to change? We're not going to have a government, not like it is now, where there's just like, a bit, oh, that guy up there. It's going to be more like they just said a collaboration of great minds. So it's kind of like, back when the Constitution was written, there were some pretty remarkable, brave people that came forward to sign that thing. They were rising up against the British, and they were like, they were probably all killed for it, I would imagine, or something, but they believed in our rights and our freedom. And they, even John Hancock, he wrote his signature especially big because he was just like, F you guys, I want my freedom. And even no matter what price I have to pay. Thank God they did, because look at how that's helping us today. And it will continue to help us. But there are people that are just, and some of you watching could be one of these people that are just these powerhouses ready to be born, or already are starting to, you're already feels like you've already been percolating, but you're about to blow. Like you're about to blow on the bad guys. But it's just like you're definitely, you've been contemplating, some of you natural born leaders that are finally starting to admit to yourselves that you actually could be powerful. You actually could be powerful and you could save the world. So we have these people that still have that heart of these people who wrote the Constitution and stuck their necks out there for us. And wow. And they're deciding to make a judgment call to save our legacy, to save us, and help us to be prosperous and help us to have our dreams come true, which we deserve, and help awaken humanity. They're rising up. They're playing that trumpet for everyone. Wake up, wake up. Look at what's ahead. Look at all the beautiful things ahead. It may be scary to look at if you wake up, but look at what's ahead. Look at the incredible things. So they're trying to make a major decision to come into their power and to be a leader at this time. Oh my gosh, a leader at this time, the emperor. And being sovereign means that you are taking back your power in the biggest way possible. And you are not under anybody. Nobody nobody's under you, nobody's above you. You just stand in your power over your kingdom, and your kingdom being your body. Collaborations and healing, taking it to the next level and creating communities and balance. Some of you intuitively know this. Some of you have been manifesting it intentionally, putting out prayers and blessings and affirmations of our world changing. Thank you to those of you who've been doing that. You guys are beautiful. Those of you who've been sitting and meditating and putting deliberate effort into helping our world heal, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are making a difference. We're breaking forward, being independent thinkers, and we're going to have our wish fulfillment and balance. Things are going to balance out. We're going to go forward unstoppably to our wish fulfillment. And we're throwing that devil out, and we're throwing out that psychological operation. And we're coming together with our true loves, the powerhouses. So not that you can't be a powerhouse by yourself. I'm just saying, when these true love couples come together, and as they come together, it's a force to be reckoned with. Okay. Yes. So yes, there's Tesla Energy Tower in Texas that can supply energy to the whole world, free energy. Is Russia showing us the way in terms of being gold-backed, separating from the cabal, run banking system, and the corporations boycott, showing us which corporations will not exist because they are deep state / cabal? Yeah. Yeah. Wow, this is interesting. This situation involved or involves love. This is or was either driven by true love's magnetism or was a plan devised to prevent a union of two divinely guided souls meant to be. That's how powerful true love is at this time. Is all these forces will do anything to stop them from happening because they know how powerful it's going to be. Now, what that has to do with Russia, we don't know the behind the scenes story there, but obviously it's got something to do with it. So that would be interesting to delve into. That would be really interesting. The situation involved a climb to the top, someone trying to achieve great success, pursuing materialistic goals. They would or did do anything to succeed at their goals with no conscience. Okay. So there was a lesson in there about again, like reevaluating your relationships and what's truly important. That's what it feels like, the lesson that was learned in that true love couple. I don't know who they are, but it feels like they, they definitely, maybe one of them pursued materialistic goal instead of love, or maybe that was the temptation. That was the temptation to try to lure them away. Okay, so let's get back to the subject, please. Okay, so because sometimes spirit just wants to intervene and just tell you things. Yes, this is a yes. Now this is how you read these cards too. You feel intuitively into what pieces pertain. So your question was, is this set, like kind of setting the precedence for like a chain reaction, everybody to kind of follow suit? The answer would be yes, because it says this involves procreation, creating new life, reproduction, the productive system, or prevention of its ability to function at full capacity. I thought this was actually the card that talked about keeping something going, keeping something going. But I mean, it's like brand new life, creating new life. Yes. So yes, it is a yes anyway. Okay. So they're also saying, okay, so they're saying that those the leaders in Russia didn't believe it for a minute. They knew that the whole thing was fake and they just laughed at it. So that's the attitude they're encouraging everybody to take. Just that, I mean, that's, laughter is everything. Laughter is healing. Laughter empowers you. Yeah, look for hidden meanings and signs, signals, symbols, and in imagery. The situation involved merely being a means to an end. There was manipulation, mind control, or even black magic directed at it for nefarious reasons. This situation could come back around full circle if something isn't done to prevent it. Take care to close it out completely. So this is like, I think this is what they're teaching us. This is what they're teaching. is to, I wish we knew more about the story, the backstory, or what's really going on behind the scenes. They want to make sure it's gone and dead. They want to make sure it cannot be resurrected or come back around at all. Okay. This was or is being prevented or intercepted. So yeah, that's what they're doing. They're totally like helping us all take our power back. They're being the example somehow. Man. Okay. Yeah, I feel like highlighting certain things to look for even in the symbolism, you know. I think that's one of the things somebody said that even was it Starlink? The symbol is an upside down cross. That could be something that's supposed to come up for healing. That could be something where everybody is gonna like make a stink about it, you know. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's an upside down crap, blah blah blah. And we should be paying attention to that stuff now that we know all that they've been doing. But maybe that's going to be supposed to be a point of contention so that it raises awareness. So it raises awareness to the issue. You know, all of this is all to raise awareness. So people will be like, oh, I thought Starlink was going to be wonderful. Oh, but there's an upside down cross. So it just like, do I pay? Do I not? Do I pay attention to it, or do I? So feeling it out intuitively, raising a stink where you see the symbology and asking for change. Maybe there's going to be enough people who say we want the logo changed, that it gets changed. But I was feeling that Starlink was a good energy. So it could be just one of those things they're purposely putting out there to try to see if you guys will stand up for yourselves and start writing letters and be like, no, 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 no. It looks too much like an upside down cross. Yeah, the end of a difficult period, going into a time of great fulfillment and happiness. And, enough with the daydreaming. It's time to pull it all together and make the healing happen. So, okay. So following on from the last Great Awakening, are we going to be eating only fruit and vegetables in the future? I feel it's going to transition. I feel like, pretty much until I think the cruelty is going to go away first. Things like that, like some of the practices and some of the bad chemicals and some of the, I feel like a lot of the manufacturing and all of the way that they kill the animals and all that kind of stuff is going to turn very humane first. I feel like it's going to be like a gradual process, and they're not going to like judge those that are meat eaters. I feel like it's going to be a slow processing. Eventually we're going to get only to fruits and vegetables. I mean, even fruits and vegetables have feelings, guys. So the fruitarians really have it figured out in terms of like what we should be eating, because the fruit already died and landed on the ground and then you eat it. That's, that's kind of the optimal thing. Or if you can eat the sun, some people sun gaze for their nutrients, or they eat chi, they do enough qigong and whatnot that they learn to feed off their own energy. It is very possible. Breatharians do it. That's not a myth. It is true. You can do it. I'm actually reading a book on it, on a man who ate no food, but he was so judged. People really, they couldn't go out to dinner with him because he would people would be very uncomfortable with him. So he would have food just for the sake of, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make these people feel uncomfortable. They're friends. So they would eat every once in a while. So people pleasing, yes, I know, but I understand too. So anyway, I feel like it's going to be a transition, and I feel like there's going to be an emphasis on not judging, but really to be humane, fair treatment, good treatment of animals. Okay. What about what are they going to be eating like way in the future when it all I don't think it's even really, I think we're going to start doing really crazy things like smelling our foods instead of eating them. Like having these vials where it's like, that we actually taste what we smell. So when you're smelling a fart, you're actually eating poo. TMI, but it's so true. It's really creepy. But anyway. There, I feel like I saw like these vials, like where you sniff the meal you want. I don't know why we would do that. And some of the things that are coming, it's like I don't we can't really even comprehend it with our little brains right now. But eventually, like we're wanting to do these things. It's not going to be like we're forced to only eat vegetables and fruits or whatever. It's going to be a gradual process. We'll be brought into it with compassion. And by the time we're doing these weird things like sniffing our meals in vials and stuff, it isn't going to be like a threatening thing or a thing that we don't want to do. It's going to be like, oh, that sounds lovely. Like you have dinner with a friend and they have a vial and wow, that was really fulfilling. That just felt like I had a whole steak and mashed potatoes and everything, like, maybe they're like, God, that's even better than putting all that food in my body that I have to digest. My body feels lighter and I didn't even have to, I mean, it could be a really positive thing. And that's why we go to it, and they just said yes. So nothing is going to be forced going forward. It's going to be, I feel, yeah, the compassion. They just said that's what they just pointed to those cards I showed you a little bit ago. That's what they mean by healing and compassion. They're gonna make up for all the evil by being really kind and loving going forward. And this, a lot of, we have the benevolent ETs have known, and they've already seen this all play out in timelines and things. So they're prepared to help us adjust and get going in the right direction. Okay. And will there be lots of new varieties that have better nutritional value? Yeah, I get a yes on that. A lot of new things to eat as well that we don't even know about, that already exist, that have been kept from us, I guess. Okay. What is water really? For some reason, when I read this question that it was going to come up today, the first word that popped in my head was a conduit. A conduit. It carries. It's a carrier and a conduit. It's the same as like carrier oils. If you put essential oils in it, it's the thing that brings the oil into you, and it kind of diffuses or dilutes it or something a little bit. So I feel that water has been a way to transfer energy. And we can do the same thing with Qigong. We might even be able, can we can we just survive on Qi and not even need water? Is it possible to not even need water? Yeah, it is. Can we survive just on Qi? Yes. But it would take a lot of practice and discipline, that's for sure. Right. Okay. Hapama anataiken, hala anashin saseela. What else is water? Hapahopoma anatakin says, yeah, I saw traveling. It's a traveler, it's a carrier, it brings things places. That could work to our disadvantage too. Because I mean, it can bring nanobots through your system. It can bring, it's they said replenishment too. What does it replenish? It replenishes cell. I see cells plumping up and stuff so that the cells can do a better job. It's like a lubrication, like, yeah, just like a carrier oil is. I wonder why you asked that question though, about what is water. And I'd be interested to hear what some of you guys have heard about water. But that's what I'm getting. Anything else what else about water? What is water? Is water some kind of foreign substance? Was water like given to us? I get a yes and a yes. They say that sugar was given to us too, to like poison us. But I think that there are ways to neutralize sugar too. If you put turpentine in sugar, it's not sticky and it totally neutralizes the toxins in sugar. Isn't that crazy? But turpentine tastes so bad anyway. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how you would make that happen. Like how, take a bag of sugar and pour some turpentine in it, mix it around in there to where you can barely taste the turpentine. I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, but I've thought of it. Okay. And what are the storms and floods about? What are the storms and floods about? Is this manufactured? Yes. Is it on purpose to try to flushing out? It's flushing out some of the dumbs. Flushing out the dumbs. Flushing out, yes, and basements. Basement activities too. Hidden basement. It feels on purpose. I just asked it, is it Mother Nature? I gotta know. So let's see what these have to say about that. Don't worry, the tables are turning and everything's working out. All that seems wrong or unjust will be made right. So just hang tight while everything is worked out, you guys. Boy, that's, it's scary to have that happening, but it looks like it is actually to help. This situation involves good people with good intentions working behind the scenes to bring relief for humanity. Both their success and their bright future are ensured. We've got this. Wow. So it's for good reason. So just do what you can to rise above the situation and get to higher ground for now. And it's going to, it will be revealed. They said it will be revealed. Yes. And she says, dumbs or cleansing cleansing or starting new. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fresh crops, nice moist ground to grow crops in the spring. Nourishment. It feels like almost like a christening, like yeah, there is definitely some symbolism about cleansing our earth of the bad stuff. Okay, some fires in some cases as well have been for that purpose as well. Okay. How will humanity stop the current? Oh, we already looked at that one. Please look into how the new world involves us being our own leaders, not looking outside, but going in. Oh, we looked at that too. Not looking outside, but going inside and dissolving our past programs to move into the true inner standing, that we create our world as individuals and is doing so collectively, and how our frequency also affects the collective. Okay, I talked about this in the number 9 also, that it's hard for psychics to come up with timelines right now as to when things are going to happen, because for one, they're constantly changing, and for two, if you have people doubting over here, it's going to get in the way of the people who are manifesting a faster timeline here. So you got these guys that are doing the right thing, and they're like, really, thank you, God, that this has already happened. It's already over. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy. It's so exciting to see all these new things, new technologies, relationships being restored, all people healing in the med beds, and all these wonderful things miraculous things are happening. They're praying as if it's already happened. They're affirming it all the time. Then you got these guys, watching the news all the time. And I mean, the good news, but still news. They're on the edge of their seat, like what's happening, and they're worrying, and they're like, am I being attacked? Like all this stuff is going on, and worrying and fretting over here, or saying like, I wish it would hurry up and get over. I can't take it anymore. Or just, okay, I trust that it's coming, but when is it coming? But when is it coming? All of this type of energy is over here, slowing it down. So as we all raise our frequency, we raise our vibration, and we try to be that's why I think they were encouraging us in the number 9 video that it's time to get creative and be creative at this time, because it gets you present in the moment, which is where we manifest from. So continue to take that advice in that video and get creative, be present in the moment as much as possible, create joy, have fun in your relationships, go play, go to a park, go out in the wilderness, do things to heal your heart, lift the load off of you, do things, have that conversation with that person you love and that you want to have a good heart to heart with, heal that, like get the burden off in every way, shape, and form. It's a huge cleanup job. The floods, everything, all of it. And a flood of emotions. I just got a flood of emotions is part of what the floods are about too. The earth is sobbing, and releasing it, purging it. I've heard reports of some of you crying lately, and it's just like, good, get it out. I love you even when you cry. I love you even when you, whatever, So I want to get some advice from the Sacred Rebels deck. And then we'll be done. Okay. Sacred Rebels. All right, Spirit. What do we need to know about these times? What's your advice? Or tell us where we're at and what we need to know at this time, please. What do we need to know at this time? Follow your own rhythm. I love it. Yay. Number 5, and 5 is change. And I'll leave a legacy. So maybe in following your own rhythm, you're going to leave a legacy and create something brand new that no one has done before or something, Deep within you, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed, the decaying trunk. You sense when it is time to rest and be patient in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it's time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it is time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are more gentle, spacious, or nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythm of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive, energetic exchange. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. All that you miss out on by trusting this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. If you let's just say if you have also pulled the inner trust card, which is important at this time, or feel intuitively guided to read that message now, this oracle has an even stronger message for you, that you must surrender your attachment to doing things the way others think they should be done. Whether that be the hours that you sleep or the way you structure your day or your creative work, you must honor your need for rest and replenishment, as well as your need for play. Sometimes an afternoon nap or a trip to the beach will do far more for you than slogging away when you are mentally depleted and in need of rest. Sometimes you need to work when the energy is flowing, even though others may say it's too much or you must stop. Wow, you are an empowered individual and you have the intelligence and wisdom to choose for yourself. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. That is so amazing. I have had, I've had crazy sleep patterns lately, and I don't care at all. I love it. Actually, it's kind of cool. Like I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and be awake till 5 or 6 and have no problem with it. I just get up and be creative and think of cool things and have conversations with people around the world and leave emails, and I'll get up and work for a while, or you jot things down or sing, or I've even gotten up in the middle of the night and started organizing things and cleaning, and I'm like, well, when rest comes, then rest will come. But when you wake up with a bunch of energy or first thing in the morning, it's like it just trusting it'll all come when it needs to come. When you're supposed to rest, you need to rest. And if your body is saying to rest, don't judge yourself. Don't say that I should, this, that, and the other thing. Just go rest, go take a nap, and go, just listen to your body. Whatever's going on right now, it's like, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Just give it what it needs. That includes like urges and being drawn to certain foods and whatnot. Go eat those foods, and just pray over your food. Thank you, God, that all food, all anything that I ingest is beneficial to me. Everything and anything I ingest is beneficial to me. Just affirm that with everything. Okay, so I feel like grabbing a couple Moonology cards. Confidence is your key to success. So be confident in who you are and the decisions that you make. Regardless, your dreams need a practical plan. So take practical action. Prosperity lies ahead. All these bowls, did you notice? Nothing's yet set in stone. So our world is malleable right now. We are participating. We're actively participating in what we're creating now. And the energy is gaining momentum. You're very close to achieving your goal. We got again. You are the alchemist. You're creating your destiny right now. So keep your thoughts positive and keep manifesting what you want, because it's working. Okay, guys, have yourselves a beautiful day, and we will talk to you next time I feel inspired to make one of these. All right, bye.